what's up, beautiful people? It's Bridget. Welcome back. So today's video is going to be all about eyeshadow palettes. You guys already know I love eyeshadow palettes, and today we're going to my favorites of 2018. So without any further ado, let's jump into the video. Alright guys, as always, all makeup on this channel is cruelty-free, and so is everything I'm mentioning here today. Also, a special shout out goes to Becky for the coffee. Thank you so much. Now let's get into it. Okay, so everything we talk about today came out in 2018. It might not be specifically the thing I've used the most in 2018, but the products that came out in 2018 that I've either used a ton already, or they're more recent things that came out in 2018 that I have been like loving and I think I'll get a lot of use out of moving towards the end of the year and into next year. First thing I want to mention today is these Soul and Mar palettes by Colorpop. I love these palettes. They're so cute. I did a 3 looks 1 palette for each one of these. And I love this one. It's like the same exact color scheme as the Kylie Burgundy palette, which even just fuels the things that are made out of the same factory. This is so cute. I love them very much. I will leave a link to the video I did with each of these down below, and I'll leave all the product links down below just so I don't say anything incorrectly. We'll have like the real prices left on the screen. But this is the blue one. It's supposed to be like the blue honey Kylie palette. So if you want to try a Kylie Jenner palette, but you don't want to pay the Kylie Jenner price, these are the same thing. Like, they're great quality. They blend out so easily. Personally, I just love Colorpop palettes in general, and the fact that they are so small and easy to store. Like, these are so easy to store. Also, it's great for traveling. Last time I went somewhere, I took this one with me because it was just so compact, and I absolutely love them. Next up is another affordable palette. I wanted to include the Zulu palette in this video, but that came out in 2017. So I'm talking about the Warrior palette by Dubious Place. I have not had this for too long. I think I've had it for maybe a month and a half. I've used it a ton. It's so pretty. All of these colors are so reflective. The pan size is the biggest pan size on the market, and I love it so much. There's no mirror, but that gets you down to the $20 price point, unless you want to pay more for a mirror, which I don't. This is so beautiful. Like, let's do one swatch. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. Let's touch another one. These are so pretty, so reflective. Like, oh, they're so soft. You get amazing quality palettes. These are also available at Ulta now, so if I can find an Ulta link for you, I'll leave the link down below. Also, you can just go in store and grab it if you want to try it out. Just give it a swatch if they have, like, displays. Just give this palette a swatch. It's so good. Also, all of their palettes are good. The only one I've ever heard bad things about is the Freak palette, which I need to try. If you guys want a review of it, let me know. But this is such good quality, and I really think if you are on a budget and you like a lot of neutral makeups and stuff, instead of grabbing like a Wet n Wild palette, splurge a little tiny bit. Get this palette. You get so much product for really cheap, and it goes a long ways. It's really easy to blend out. And if you're looking for something neutral, pew! So easy, just pick this one up. It's such a good choice. So next up, I'm going to mention 2 really recent palettes. These are things that I just reviewed. I did 3 looks, 2 skin tone swatches, and a review of both these new recent palettes. So the first one I'm going to mention is the Gingerbread Spice palette by Too Faced. I love this palette. Other than this one shade, which is like a disgusting sugar grit that a lot of people receive and this thing's broken. Like, this is a terrible shadow. But the rest of this palette is so good. Like, it's so good. And I think why I reach for it a lot, even though I just acquired it, I'm still using it a lot. A lot of these browns in here are really like a gingerbread spicy kind of brown, and I don't really have that in my collection. Also, this beautiful pink, like, you know, kind of calls my name. But there's just so many good colors in here. The 3 looks I got out of there I think are really diverse, so you can actually get like a good range of colors out of this Too Faced palette, which is strange for Too Faced because they do a lot of neutral palettes. But it's absolutely stunning quality. Too Faced palettes are either a hit or a miss, and this is absolutely a hit for me. I love it very much, and I think I'm going to get a ton of use out of it, even after the holiday season is over. The next recent palette I reviewed is the Naked Cherry palette. Now, the 3 looks I got out of this palette were not nearly as diverse as the Too Faced palette. This is definitely a niche palette. Let me go ahead and say that right off the bat. It is a niche palette. I did not give it a great review. There are so many things I would change about this palette. I would like a bright champagne shimmering color in here. I would like a red. I would like a really dark deepening up shade, maybe like a brick red, a bright, vibrant cherry related color. But I still get a ton of use out of this, except for today where I didn't use it. I've still been using this even after my review. Like yesterday we went out. I had to wear this palette because I love the color scheme. I think it looks absolutely stunning. it's not perfect. It's not a perfect palette. However, if you really like these mauve shades, it's fantastic. Like, the quality is there. If you are a beginner and you really want to try some pinkyish purple eyeshadow, there's no way you can mess this up. They're all very similar. All the colors blend together very nicely, and it's a very beautiful palette. Like, I personally love a pinky purple eyeshadow, so I'll get a ton of use out of it. However, if you are a neutral person, you don't really like pinks, it's not going to be for you. It's definitely a person by person basis. If it goes on sale, maybe pick it up if you want to just try the colors out. I don't think for $49, if you're not going to use it all the time, it's worth it. But if it goes on sale, like sometimes the Naked specialty palettes go on sale, like the Naked 1, 2, 3, whatever, don't really go on sale. Well, except for the Naked 1 because it's discontinued. Like the Smoky and stuff like that, they went on sale. So I think if this goes like $27.50, like half price, you guys should all pick it up. It's fantastic quality. But I love it. That's why it's in my favorites for 2018. I'm not sure this is one for everyone else. Next up is another palette that is not a standalone palette for me. I did review this palette and it's great and I absolutely love it, but it's definitely a palette I use all the time for accent colors. So this is the Block Party palette by Lunar Beauty. I love this palette. It's actually a palette that I used in my first ever Halloween tutorial for the year, which comes out tomorrow. Hope you guys will like it. I love this palette. It's definitely I guess it's an accent or a topper palette. When I have a look and I'm like, oh, it needs a pop of this, I usually grab this palette right here, especially for shades like this pink, which is actually very similar to Jeffree Star's Beauty Killer Star Power shade. I really love this color. Also, this yellow is very nice. It's definitely not my standard yellow eyeshadow, but if I mix this color in here, it gives a lot more vibrance, more of a sunflower effect. The only shades I'm not crazy about are these two right here, but that's because I don't really wear dark eyeshadow. But this is such a good quality palette. Again, like these Sol & Mar palettes, really small and easy to store. So I really appreciate that about this palette. It doesn't waste any space. It's made of cardboard, so it's more environmentally friendly than, say, a plastic container. But I don't know. I really like it a lot. Next up, we have 3 very popular palettes. Well, at least 2 of them are very popular. And we have one that I'm not sure is popular anymore. This is, again, about the palettes, not about the person behind the brand. And for the year, I thoroughly have been enjoying the quality of this palette. Don't yell at me. It is the Lunar Beauty Life's a Drag palette. The palette quality is great. I mean, we all know I hate this one shade right here. This is absolute trash. Like, I want to stab this shadow out of the palette and never see it again. That looks better. The rest of these shadows, though, are so good. This one's a little bit powdery, but all of these, even these bright colors, are such good quality. They're so soft. They're so pigmented. I mean, this is a little bit big and bulky to store. Regardless of what you think of Manny, this palette quality is great. Like, if it had no brand on it and I tried this palette, I would love it. It's fantastic. So, the quality of the palette's good. I've been using it a lot this year. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I hate this palette now, because that's just not true. It's still a great palette. So again, this is about the palette quality, not about the people behind it. And one of my favorites for the year is the Blood Sugar palette by Jeffree Star Cosmetics, because I love it so much, you guys. This palette quality is fantastic. Like, is there one bad review on this palette online? I highly doubt it, because they would just be liars. This is a fantastic palette. My only complaints, I have 2 complaints. One, this thing's always sold out, so I feel bad talking about a palette a lot when I know you guys can't get a hold of it, so that's kind of like, ugh. 2, it's so big and bulky to store. Like, if I organize my palettes, which I do a lot, I have to make sure I put this in there first, because it's just huge. It's thick, it's bulky, it's got these weird clasps, so you can't really put another palette against it. Like, it's a pain to store. Honestly, unless you're going to put it on top of like a vanity, which is, it's a very cute display piece. I love the quality though. The palette quality is so good. The shadows are so pigmented. They're so beautiful. Maybe I should not swatch light colors because you can't even see. Like, they're so pigmented. They're so beautiful. I love the quality of this palette. Oh, hi. These shadows are fantastic. These are so soft, they blend together so nicely. The whole top row is like neutral colors, then we have pinks and reds and purples and very light pinks, and there's some nice shimmers in here. I think it's a very versatile palette. If you are into warm colors, you can change it from reds to pinks to whatever you want. And it's a great quality palette. the shadows are fantastic. The only thing with the Lunar Beauty and Jeffree Star Cosmetics palettes are, they are vegan, so they will stain your eyelids, like they stain my fingers just from swatching them. So do be careful of that if you have very sensitive lids. However, I've never had an issue with it. Use a little bit of micellar water on like a cotton round and you'll be fine. So the last recommendation is one I think I can recommend to everyone. Now, I myself am not a super neutral person. I did recommend the Warrior palette, and if you don't want to get the Warrior palette, you want something a little more luxurious, I recommend the Soft Glam palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Now, right off the bat, I didn't buy this at launch because I have neutrals already. I didn't think I needed it. But when I found it on a deal, this thing is so good. And I would definitely pay full price for it now, knowing what I do. You always see palettes like really neutral get good reviews because they're kind of hard to screw up. But the quality of this Soft Glam palette is so good. The palette's shadows are so soft. The mattes have some kickback, yes, but it's so good. These shimmers are stunning, and I absolutely just love this palette as a whole. They have some pinks in here. They're not too bright, so if you have like a lot of neutral kind of vibes with your makeup, it's fine. You can also deepen this up. There's a lot of darker shades. They have golds. They have lights. They even have this really cool shade right here, which I like the most out of this palette. It's called Dusty Rose, and it's not a pink. It's not a mauve. It's not a brown. It's an in-between color that I love dearly. It's actually my favorite color out of this palette, I think. It's just really good. You can actually make oranges, everything out of this palette. It's so versatile. And I don't think I have to justify it anymore. The quality of these shadows is fantastic. If you like the quality of the shadows from the Modern Renaissance palette, this is about the same quality. I think the Modern Renaissance and the Soft Glam palette are instant classics in the makeup community because they're both just fantastic quality. You don't really see Anastasia palettes go on sale unless they're limited edition palettes or they have a huge flop, like the Subculture palette and Prism palette, which are both available at TJ Maxx if you want them for $25. But this one I don't think is going to go on sale anytime soon because it's absolutely fantastic quality and they can keep selling it at that price point all day long because it's so good. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Let me know your favorite palette of the year in the comment section down below. For me, I think it's the Blood Sugar palette. I'm not sure it's the palette I've used the most this year, but I think about quality, it's so good and it's the most I've ever spent on a palette, so I'm glad it was worth it. Also, other than your favorite palette, let me know in the poll section, what do you think of this lipstick? This one is Jar Cosmetics Everything Nice. They sent it to me and I'm like, I'm not sure if I like this color or not. Like, I love the formula, it's very dry, but I'm not sure how I like this color on me because I'm not used to apricots, so you guys can let me know what you think of it. I think I want to try it some more and see if I like it or not because I'm not quite sure yet. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Tomorrow's video will be the first Halloween video. It's like an easy 20-minute look, not very complicated. If you guys want to check it out, you have that to look forward to. Yeah, so yeah, I'll see you then. Bye!